Bitcoin is a strong buy due to a few reasons. And I'm going to get into that in just a moment right now, guys. But the first thing I want to go over is this ByBit hack is terrible news. Actually, it's terrible, but it's a gift for anyone that wants to accumulate Bitcoin. It created weakness that in reality will not last very long and will be very much quickly recovered. I'm going to get into a little bit more of that detail in a moment. But Bitcoin is looking very, very good. And the ByBit hack was about like $1.5 billion was stolen from them, if I'm correct. And that created a very big dip in Bitcoin earlier today. And the reason I want to go over this is because the amount of fear that we're seeing right now is being handled in a way that I believe is being handled incorrectly when it comes. If you're not affected by this and you have the funds, take advantage of Bitcoin. If you guys have been keeping up with me for a while, you know that my BitU position that I've been accumulating, I added more today. If you guys were watching today's live stream, I added more to BitU during the live stream. I have just over 2,000 shares of BitU at a really, really good cost basis. And if you guys are interested in what that looks like, I got my Discord link down below. You guys can join my Discord and look at a little bit more detail on the trades I take on there. Because I post my trades on there frequently, and you guys can look at the details on that. But I intend to add more. If this weekend holds to be, or the discounted levels in this weekend hold, leading into Monday, I plan to continue accumulating a lot more BitU, potentially up to 2,500 shares or more at these levels. And the reason this is very significant is because I've gone over the big picture, the big structure of Bitcoin so many times throughout this week. I'm not really going to get into it in this video. I want to get into the real reasons why we're about to see a break of structure. And this news just creates, or not creates, but it supports what I'm going to say, because the overall structure that we're now seeing within this sideways movement is strengthening to the upside. What I mean by that is, you guys already know, if you've been watching for how I feel about these supportive fib extension areas. Every time they max out, it's usually a really, really good sign. And right now, what we've seen is that it maxed out. And on the way up, instead of finding resistance at the 120 or resistance within these two liquidity walls like we've seen before, what ended up happening was that we broke above this swing high, above the 99K liquidity wall, creating the opportunity that I've been waiting on for a while. And that is enough momentum to break into this blue resistance area. If you guys know, I am going to go over this. I go over it a lot, but I am going to go over it again. Every time we go into these resistance areas and we have enough momentum to break into it slightly, even if we get rejected, for example, we've seen it here and many other times, but this is the most recent one that's super clear. We've seen it break into here. It gets rejected, it corrects. But if there's enough momentum for the price to break into these like extension areas, there is enough momentum to bring it back and push it deeper into this area. So as you can see, it popped up enough into it. That's enough bullish momentum to bring it back up soon after. And as you can see, we ended up maxing it out soon after, and that ended up creating a top. We ended up coming down. We used this overall structure to get this supportive extension area, and we maxed it out. We ended up going higher and got an overshooting B wave. The thing about this overshooting B wave, though, is that every time I see one, usually we want to see, or what tends to happen is that we see the next overall low lower than the previous swing low. What ended up happening was that we found support above that previous swing low, which is very bullish. It has to do with just the amount of Bitcoin that's being accumulated in the background. It's just supporting a very strong floor at these sub 100K levels. And we didn't break below this swing low right here. Excuse me. So after that, we ended up just consolidating sideways instead of pushing lower. In the closer up picture, just like that previous structure I showed, we have enough bullish momentum to break into this next extension area. Since we are able to do that, I will not be surprised if we see this price soon after, very soon, break up deeper into this blue area and begin to create an overall, let me see if I can show you guys, an overall higher high and higher low pattern form. This is very, very healthy, in my opinion. And not just that, this dip, it maxed out this retracement area, which is good to see because we want to see the channel strengthen as well, even after seeing a higher high from here. Now, within this overall structure, the RSI got oversold, it showed it. And now the price is starting to flirt with that 120 moving average right here at the 0.5 line. So what I'm looking for now is consolidation. It may not, it may actually continue to go up, but ideally, if we can see over this weekend leading into the last trading week of February, which is setting up to be a very strong week, what we can see is that, well, we can see some consolidation over the weekend, potentially some lower volume fluctuations, building up a floor to then go off of, and after building that low floor, push up into this blue extension area right here, which if we are able to break into it, we can definitely have enough momentum in the background to push it up further into this area. Because at the end of the day, the ByBit hack, it's all going to get taken care of. This isn't something that destroys the market. It's very unfortunate in the short term, but it will all be taken care of very soon after. So this is not a real reason for Bitcoin to out of nowhere start dumping like crazy and make like significant new lows. What we end up seeing is that from this low to this low, we have a higher low and then a higher low here so far. And then we're starting to change the structure a little bit, and we have a higher high from here. At the same time, we can potentially retest this line right here, this swing high right here, which will be a deeper push into the blue area. And then after that, very easily we can test this overall swing high, which will create the opportunity of maxing out this blue area and create a much stronger setup for us to finally, and you guys know how if you've been watching for a while, you know how I feel about imbalance areas. We can finally fill in this imbalance area and create much more bullish momentum. So Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a strong buy. And I'm reflecting that by adding more to BitU. I did it in front of a few people today in the live stream. And next week, if we see any weakness whatsoever within this price, even if it's trying to have like a 3-wave pullback where we see the first wave, second, and then a third wave trying to go lower into these these liquidity walls, I'm going to be accumulating very aggressively because it is time. Bitcoin is getting ready. It's showing signs that it wants to break out. Last time we had the RSI bottom out, it was down here. This time it bottomed out all the way up here. So if it wants to max out the RSI to the upside again, very much possible we can push higher. And then also it maxed it out right here. And there's enough momentum to bring it down and then maximize it once again before even coming down and going into the discounted area. So things are very clear in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.